And then in this one, I'm going to talk about what a lot of people will tell you, okay? Now, you see, for me, I'm a footballing addict, okay? And I made a video about this earlier. Not earlier, like a couple days ago, okay? Let's move. I'm a football addict. Okay? Now this can be tend to be celebrated, okay? People say, oh my days, wow, he's putting in so much hard work, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, balance is key, man. Especially if you want to really improve at football. Okay? And if you really want to improve, especially in game time, the less you play football, as in on a weekly basis, the better. Because if you were to play football weekly, but you were to do things, not necessarily not football-wise, but in terms of actual games, okay, if you were to do one game a week, okay, you would improve a lot better than if you were to play 3 games a week, purely based on fatigue, okay? Now, if you're gonna say, oh, that's not true, if you compare the form of players that play top Premier League, Champions League, they're playing 3 games a week, blah, 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 to a player of similar quality, but you were to put them in a scenario where they're playing once a week, I promise you, that player, that good player was playing once a week, he would play a lot better than when he plays 3 times a week. Okay, and then, yeah, it's just as simple as that. So this is a lesson even for myself, you know, something that I'm trying to embody as we speak, you know, this importance of, especially when it comes to game time, less, and prioritizing more. I'm not going to call it off the ball work, because training in the sense of doing drills to improve your football, that is another good example of using football to help football, you know. But I feel like the game should be left alone as to be the game, you know, the game of the week, you know, especially if you're like me and you're not playing nothing too serious, you know. It's about not trying to push past your limits just for, like, you have to ask yourself why you're trying to push past your limits, you know. Like, even for myself, I ask myself, why am I playing football so many times a week? It's because at least at this moment, I generally can't help it, you know, with no school, no nothing, no job. So for me, football is the only thing that can kind of fill the void in my week, you know. And again, I can feel why that's not good for my body. I feel it, you know. And I always tell myself I'm going to take a break, even from making videos, you know. Because I make so many videos. Like, in the last couple of months, I've been making so many videos. But then I tell myself that I will take a break, and then I won't take a break. You know what I mean? Like, even now, like, I've been telling myself the whole day I'm gonna take a break by making videos, okay? There's a bit positive and negative to that, you know? I know it's my nature, but at the same time, I'm also burning myself out, you know? And you could say I wouldn't call it a reduction in quality, but yeah, it's just, this isn't where I wanna be, you know. I know where I want to be when it comes to making videos. I know that I want to be in a place where I'm only making a video with not that many videos, you know. That's where I want to be. But at the same time, I also know I have such a fire inside me to make videos, to want to make videos, so irresistible that I just got to burn it up so I can get to that point. I'm just like, fuck, you know, like, I'm actually run out of ideas, bro. I ain't got no video ideas, you know. I just got to burn out because I'm kind of new to this relatively. Even though I'm like 3 months in, I'm still relatively new. You know what I mean? But if I'm going to take any lessons from my editing journey, because I used to be an editor, I can see how I used to edit. Now it's so perfect. The way I edit is so perfect because it's just like, I just edit like when I want to edit and it's just there. You know, and it's like once a week, it could be once every 2 weeks. I just don't think about it. You know, but it's about addressing that. I address that, you know, but the only way that you can kind of find your balance is to get lost. You know, you have to get lost on one side or the other, you know, preferably the side where you're doing loads, to be fair, than a lack of it, because if a lack of it kind of keeps you stuck there, you know. But if you want to really find a balance, I would just say go all the way out, you know. And maybe that's the topic of this video, how to find balance. Until about 5 minutes ago. Let me finish it. And when you have to find balance, just go all out. Go all out, burn yourself out right to the ground. You know? Every time, until one day you're just like, fuck man, I've had enough, but I still like this, you know? Because again, only find balance in the things that you like. Because you can be burned out and say, fuck off, I didn't like this anymore, and then you're done. And then that's how you know, oh shit, I never liked that. But if it's something that you like and you push past your boundaries right to the limit, you push past that barrier, the only thing that's left is balance. If you still want that, if that's still something that your heart calls out to you, the only thing left will be balance, okay? But that's the video. Okay, you want to find balance, you got to push to the limit. Peace.